You're welcome to my measurement series. Today we consider measurement for a plus size person. I'll be giving you practical tips in measuring and keeping up with a plus size person's measurement. Now, if this is a video you're interested in, you are welcome. Do stay tuned. I am Jane of Jane Cloth, a woman and children's wear designer and a fashion instructor. I make videos on fashion items, the industry, and our everyday life. Now, don't go nowhere because I'll be back after the short break. You're welcome once again. An accurate body measurement can never be overemphasized. I would always tell my students, once you get the measurement right, you get the right fitting for your client, and that makes them very happy. Usually, a plus size person measures size 16 on the UK size chart and size 12 on the US size chart. Now, once you have your bust around 42 and you have your waist around 36, 37, you are on the plus size. Now, don't panic. You are not fat, you are not big, you are just on the plus size. You are well in structure and well in shape. Unlike what most people think, that plus size persons are people without shape, no body structure, they are fat, they are everywhere. That's not true. We also have plus size in all the various body type that we have. We have plus size in the aqua shape, and those are the people with their upper bodies are way bigger than the lower body. Their balls, their shoulder are bigger than the hip. They have very little or no hip to show at all. We also have plus size in the pear shape. Those ones have smaller boobs, smaller shoulder, well-defined waist, and very large hip. The largest part of them is the hip. They always have big thighs, big hips. And then we have a plus size in the hourglass. They always come with this moderate shoulder, moderate breast, and then we have well-defined waist and then the heel. We also have plus size in the rectangle shape. They are just, you see little or no curve at all. And then you have plus size in the oval shape, and those are the people that their bust, their waist, and their hip are almost measuring the same in inches. Now that you know you have structure, you gotta love your body, you have to love yourself. You are just a plus size. Now let's go to the practical aspect of this video, which is the measuring. You can grab a tape measurement because we are going to practicalize things now. When you're measuring the shoulder of a plus size, they usually measure between 16 upward because they are on the plus size. A standard shoulder measure 15, 16, but a plus size measures 16 upward. And you have to be careful when you're measuring their shoulder. Most times you would think that they measure their shoulder from afar, you would think they measure like 20. That's not true. It's just that there is plenty flesh on that ham side, and then you have to work out exactly where their shoulder point is. Once you don't get where the shoulder point is, you are likely not going to get that cloth in its right fitting. So you have to work out where their shoulder will be. Another thing going down this line is the bicep. The bicep of a plus size usually measure 16, average 15, then 16 upward. When you measure, make sure you measure the fleshiest part of their arm. Once you get that part right, you are likely going to get the armhole right. Now, going to the armhole, you can't be sure about it. Just measure the armhole. Usually a standard measurement armhole length measure 8, but for plus size you have now 10, 11, 12, even for more freedom and more room around this area. So you have to work out how to measure their armhole. Don't be sure about it. Just tell them to raise their hand a bit and then go around it. There is nothing to be shy about in that. Another thing is that you measure exactly where their sleeve length is going to be. Most of them have flesh all through to their elbow, and they always want to cover, so you have to stand your hand at akimbo when you're measuring their ham area so that you can get the proper measurement. And one other thing is that you have to measure this round part so that it will fit. You see, Now, another mistake we often make with the plus size measurement is their bust point. Now, let me tell you, most of them wear loose bra, so you can't literally tell where their bust point is, but you have to work it out. Now, I should have mentioned at the beginning of this video that if you want to measure a plus size, make sure they are wearing a camisole and a leggings, or a camisole and a jean at most, so that you can get the accurate body measurement for them. Now, when you measure the bust point, usually bust points measure for a standard person 9.5, 10, but for plus size they start from 11, 12, even some 13, especially for the apple figure 13. So you have to work out where their bust point is, and that is exactly where their nipple stays, and then work out their under bust equally. As much as you're taking the tape rule for their horizontal measurement, once you get to the bust point, you take it down to their under bust, then you take it down to their rib cage, then you take it down to their lower waist, then you take it down to their hip. You have to keep up with all those horizontal measurements because they will be useful when you're constructing their garment. Now, another thing we often make mistake with is their nipple to nipple measurement. You have to always measure that so you know exactly where their cups stay, if at all you are to add cup to that dress. Although most of them don't prefer cup in their clothes, but then still measure it so you can accurately get where their dart would stay. So the next measurement is the hip measurement. For a plus size person, sometimes their hip, especially for the pear shape, sometimes their butt and their hip don't stay on the same line. They are not on the same line. They're like 1 inch, 2 inches far apart, sometimes even 3 inches, because they have bigger thigh and then their hip tend to shoot out more. So you have to work it out. Make sure you place your tape rule in such a way that it captures both the hip and the butt at the same time, so that you can get an accurate body measurement for the hip. The next measurement is the length of their skirt or the length of their pant. It is important that you ask them where they place their skirt or where they place the band of their pant, so you know where to start the measurement from. Most of them are shy about this question. You can't be shy because you are the fashion designer, yeah? So you can't be shy about it. You have to work it out. Ask them, are you comfortable placing your skirt above or below your navel, so that you can get an accurate length. I'm telling you this because I've experienced it myself. I measured a client. I asked her, where do you place your skirt? She showed me. I measured it. By the time I finished constructing this particular dress for her, the skirt, when she wore it, she dragged the skirt upward, like above her navel, and that was not what she told me at the point of measurement. As I watched her, I immediately knew that there would be error in this skirt. One, the hip was no longer where it's supposed to be. Now the hip was up. Why? The hip was way up, and she was telling me this dress is tight. I smiled because if I were to tell her she was wearing it wrongly, it might have sounded rude at that point. So because I knew better, I just smiled and told her I'll correct it. And then the skirt had gone up and she was telling me, oh, this skirt is too short. Well, what can I do? I just had to smile. I knew better, so I didn't have to make a drama of it. So I knew that next time I'm constructing a dress, I'll have to make sure I leave a band upward. So it's important you ask them. Measurement will be the length of their top. It is really important you ask your client where they would like their top to end. But if they don't have any idea about that, you can just use the modest top length, which is always 2 inches above the hip length, and that would do for anyone. And that's all I have for you today for a plus size person's measurement. Now, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to leave me your thoughts and your comments in the comment section below. In case you have any question for me, leave it in the comment section below. And if you would like to reach me, check me on any of my social media platforms, which are in the description box below. Till my next one, I am still Jane of Jane Club. Au revoir.